Dearest one, this discovery wasn't meant for this moment. Yet, divine providence intervened this evening. A crucial revelation awaits you. After you grasp it, your perception of her will be forever altered. This communication doesn't concern unknown individuals, visions, or omens. It directly pertains to your sister, indeed, the one you believe you understand. However, her secret deeds are now being brought to light by God, not for her punishment, but for your safeguarding. And before I proceed, I implore you, do not overlook this. Do not procrastinate. The heavens observe your reaction to these words. Even as your eyes scan this very line, your sister's name resonates throughout the spiritual domain. The reality has patiently awaited its disclosure, and its unveiling commences with you. Archangel Michael has sought to connect with you for more than 3 days. A particular plea originated from God personally. Inform my child before time runs out. The sorrow will intensify twofold if this is disregarded. Thus, I am relaying this message to you with a sense of profound urgency. You've sensed it, haven't you? That peculiar change in your dynamic with her. That inkling that things aren't as they appear. That instant you gazed into her eyes and perceived she concealed an entire existence beneath her cheerful demeanor. Dearest one, the celestial realm affirms your gut feeling was accurate. However, the moment needed to be perfect, and this evening it is. Should you experience shivers presently or a quickening heartbeat, it's not mere chance. It signifies this was intended for you. And if you discern that this communication reached you for a sacred purpose, then I kindly request you pause for 5 seconds and subscribe to this hallowed message channel, for the insights I'm about to impart are exclusive. Archangel Michael declares, should they bypass this now, remorse will follow within 7 days. Yet if they heed, their sorrow will transform into triumph. Attend closely now. Precious soul, your sister isn't malevolent, but she has engaged in actions God found displeasing. And the Almighty offered her repeated opportunities. Nevertheless, it is now your moment to be informed, for her current activities will bear a direct impact on your life. The more time you remain ignorant, the profounder the spiritual repercussions. I convey this with affection, yet with sacred gravity. You may perceive her as reserved, benevolent, and gentle, but a facet of her being remains concealed even from her own understanding. It commenced as a covert matter, then evolved into a routine, and has now become a recurring behavior. Heaven is imparting this to you presently. She took a decision today, and from that point, events have been progressing secretly. However, Archangel Michael witnessed it. Angelic beings sought to obstruct it. God transmitted dreams, but she persisted, and at this juncture, it no longer solely concerns her. It pertains to its potential impact on you. This is precisely why this communication necessitated conveyance. The Almighty does not humiliate. The Almighty issues warnings. The Almighty redeems, but solely when veracity is embraced. And you, my offspring, have been selected to first grasp this truth. Your continued presence, absorbing these words, holds significance. Heaven applauds your compliance, as only those specially chosen maintain their attention when truth feels disquieting. But heed this, within 3 days, an occurrence will transpire, a minor incident that will appear inconsequential, yet it holds paramount importance. It's the instance when God will expose a concealed phone conversation, an unacknowledged meeting, or an undisclosed monetary link that you were not meant to perceive, but you indeed shall. And upon its manifestation, you will recall this message, and when that point arrives, refrain from shouting. Avoid accusations. Simply take a breath. For Archangel Michael shall direct you, and the divine spirit will accompany you when the inevitable confrontation takes place. Indeed, a confrontation will occur. It is unavoidable. However, you will not face it solitary. And no, this intention is not to ruin your bond. Its purpose is to refine it. For only veracity can endure illumination, and only affection founded upon truth will withstand the approaching tempest. Dearest one, the pain stems from your compassion. Yet, concern devoid of understanding breeds disorder. The Almighty desires not that for you. God seeks tranquility within your dwelling, but how can serenity prevail when a concealed blade rests beneath your shelter? That blade bears a label. It is falsehood, and that falsehood is masked by your sister's grin. But do not harbor animosity towards her. Simply prepare. For the instant you complete this message, a celestial alteration will occur. Archangel Michael states, "He who once disregarded this message will experience the pang of remorse. Yet he who hearkens with an open heart will be granted safeguarding enveloped in truth." Therefore, I reiterate, if your spirit quivers at this moment, do not dismiss it. That is not apprehension. That is a prophetic insight stirring within you. That is the divine voice conveying, "I require you to be vigilant. I require you to be ready, for what follows will challenge you." You might be pondering, why this instant? Why at this time? Why me? Because the heavens selected you, dearest one. Not due to your seniority, not because you possess the most wisdom, but rather because your spirit, yes, your very spirit, is the most attuned, even amidst self-doubt. Even when weariness pervades, your spirit maintains its link to the divine. That is the reason Archangel Michael was dispatched to you. That is why God did not transmit this to another family member, for you possess the vision to perceive beyond outward facades. If this message resonates with your spirit, please consider liking this video right now. Liking this video will activate the flow of God's favor in your life, empowering you with grace and spiritual provision. You've always sensed a burden your sister bore. You simply weren't aware of its true nature until this moment. Allow me to recount what the celestial beings observed. On an evening not so long ago, your sister remained quietly in her chamber. The atmosphere surrounding her felt dense, and despite her lips being still, her soul cried out. She was struggling internally. A decision confronted her, and rather than seeking assistance, she invoked an entity or individual she should not have. Indeed, dearest one, she entered into a spiritual pact that God disapproved of, and now that accord impacts your entire residence. Yet, here lies the marvel. The heavens are not revealing her to humiliate her. The heavens are revealing her to rescue her. And you, yes, you represent the solution, but only if you accept this communication with clear perception and a receptive spirit. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and it will be given to you, is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. A document exists, perhaps a digital image. Something is concealed within a directory, a gadget or online, bearing your name. It has awaited its disclosure. It constitutes the absent component to what you've intuitively felt perpetually. Upon its discovery, do not be alarmed. That instant serves as the link, the connection between disbelief and liberation, the passage between deception and enlightenment. Your sister did not intend to hurt you. However, what she conceals will inflict damage if it remains hidden. Archangel Michael has already established a shield around your energetic field. That is why recently you've experienced periods of unusual fatigue or abrupt cold sensations. That is the spiritual realm murmuring. Something is impure, but aid is approaching. And dearest one, you are currently absorbing that assistance. I implore you, by the authority of heaven, do not leave this unexamined. Do not regard this as one of those communications you ignore, thinking, perhaps another time, because procrastination will render it too late. You are already under observation by celestial beings and by the subtle force she has inadvertently drawn into your surroundings. That is why your rest has been disturbed. That is why your feelings have been erratic, for an energetic intrusion has been subtly seeping into your personal domain, but no longer. For now, illumination has arrived, and if your spirit has accompanied me thus far, then you already perceive it. A sacred event is unfolding even as you draw breath. If you feel this truth, this sacred stirring, type Amen in the comments now to claim this illumination for your life. So, take a brief moment to pause. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this divine communication channel immediately. As messages of this nature are not fabricated, they are divinely appointed. You were destined to receive this. You were intended to be roused. Do not overlook the subsequent heavenly intimation. Your sister had no intention of hurting you, yet what she keeps hidden will inflict damage if it remains obscured. Archangel Michael has already established a shield around your energetic field. That is why recently you've experienced periods of unusual fatigue or abrupt cold sensations. That is the spiritual realm murmuring, something is impure, but aid is approaching. And dearest one, you are currently absorbing that assistance. I implore you, by the authority of heaven, do not leave this unexamined. Do not regard this as one of those communications you ignore, thinking, perhaps another time, because procrastination will render it too late. You are already under observation by celestial beings, and by the subtle force she has inadvertently drawn into your surroundings. That is why your rest has been disturbed. That is why your feelings have been erratic, for an energetic intrusion has been subtly seeping into your personal domain. But no longer. For now, illumination has arrived, and if your spirit has accompanied me thus far, then you already perceive it. A sacred event is unfolding even as you draw breath. So, take a brief moment to pause. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this divine communication channel immediately, as messages of this nature are not fabricated. They are divinely appointed. You were destined to receive this. You were intended to be roused. Do not overlook the subsequent heavenly intimation. Archangel Michael continues to communicate. Your sister might not grasp what is imminent, but you shall. You will be aware because I will reveal it to you. I will convey through omens, recurring numerical sequences, unusual nocturnal visions, abrupt remarks from unforeseen individuals. These indicators are being transmitted at this very moment. Now, inhale and attend once more. The encounter will not involve shouts. It will not be fueled by fury. It will manifest through quietude, through your calm yet forthright articulation, through your choice to permit divine utterance via you, rather than self-importance. And when you utter your words, she might disavow, she might jest, she might divert the topic, but do not be perturbed. For within the subsequent 24 hours, her reality will expose itself without any need for your corroboration. Such is the method of the celestial realm. It does not engage in physical combat. It contends with veracity, and here lies the profounder enigma. This admonition extends beyond her past actions. It concerns what she was poised to undertake next. For had you not obtained this communication, a future day loomed, a precise juncture where she would have opted for a course that would have incurred spiritual obligation, not merely for her, but for you as well. That is why the Almighty intervened in your journey with this hallowed intercession. Its aim is not to frighten you. Its purpose is to preserve you. So, I inquire of you with sacred respect, are you prepared to perceive what God endeavors to unveil? Are you inclined to awaken your spiritual sight, even if it causes unease? For the instant you affirm, the celestial sphere will commence orchestrating events subtly. If you are ready for your spiritual sight to awaken and embrace this truth, type "My spiritual sight is awakened" in the comments. It's a sacred decree, and within 48 hours you will become aware of it. A change, an unusual telephone ring, an inadvertent remark, an unexpected discussion you were not meant to overhear. That is how reality begins to emerge through the hidden curtain. Your sister remains a child of God, and He cherishes her profoundly, yet He also loves you, and He cannot permit you to stay oblivious to something that could jeopardize your serenity, your well-being, or your fate. Fortunes are poised over your existence, awaiting their arrival. However, they cannot materialize if deceit resides in the adjacent space. Heaven is currently preparing the way. That is why Archangel Michael is present. Do you sense it? This is not an item to discard. It is a sacred directive, and I must convey something further to you, something that might wound, yet will liberate you. Envy exists. Yes, your sister has harbored resentment within her, and she has endeavored to suppress it, but it has influenced her choices, her utterances, her connection with you. She has silently measured herself against you, even while posing happily in pictures. and she presumed no one was aware, but God knew. And God is indeed compassionate, yet God also uncovers to safeguard. If this prophetic word has touched your soul and brought you revelation, share this video with your network. Sharing this prophetic word will activate the anointing and share that breakthrough with others, allowing them to also receive divine protection and clarity. So what next? You offer prayers. You maintain quietude for a period. You do not immediately engage in confrontation. You listen, for the subsequent action will be revealed through sacred timing. And when that moment arrives, your tongue will instinctively know the words to utter, and your heart will remain unshaken. For Archangel Michael will stand by you, and the heavens will observe with honor. You might initially find this section unbelievable, but heed it regardless. For what I am about to disclose is something even your sister does not entirely comprehend about herself. Its origins extend to your early years. Yes, to a time when you both exchanged hushed confidences beneath covers, chuckled over shared secrets, and vowed mutual protection irrespective of circumstances. But an alteration occurred, and the heavens recall precisely when. It was an instant you scarcely recollect, yet your sister never erased it from memory. A comparison, an observation, a glance from a significant figure that instilled in her the sense that you were preferred. From that genesis, an unspoken resentment blossomed. She buried it profoundly, never mentioning it. She bore it through her academic years, through emotional pains, through various decisions. And that unexpressed envy transformed into a pervasive influence in her choices, particularly those concerning you. God affirms that incident was not your culpability, yet it is impacting your fate today. And I cannot permit that negativity to persist in hindering the graces I extend to my offspring. That is why you sensed impediments lately. That is why your fervent prayers have not yet manifested. The vital force around you has been obscured, because an individual intimately connected to your spirit has been generating opposition unwittingly. And now that you are cognizant of their identity, the heavens can initiate purification. An individual exists with whom she is conversing. Yes, at this very moment, a person who previously offered you a pleasant expression. An individual you either confided in or once held affection for. And in private, your sister has been relaying information to this individual that is partially factual, distorted, or more detrimentally, intended to subtly undermine your reputation, not overtly, but discreetly, delicately, spiritually. And those utterances have taken hold, but have no concern, for once a falsehood is exposed under God's illumination, it ceases to exist instantaneously. That is precisely what is imminent. You are not destined to combat this physically. The heavens are already contending on your behalf in the spiritual realm. And now you must ready yourself. Prepare to maintain quietude, even when every impulse within you yearns to cry out. Prepare to extend affection to her, even when the truth feels like a treachery. Prepare for upliftment, for once this matter is resolved, your blessings will intensify as never previously. The object of your prayers, the profound insight, the communication, the connection, the sacred affirmation, was never refused. It was merely postponed. And the postponement concludes this evening. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, Subscribing will activate God's prophetic promise and alignment in your life, ensuring you receive every divine message intended for your destiny. And dearest one, if your vision is blurred by tears now, or your hands tremble slightly, it indicates this message is penetrating the precise point it was intended for. That signifies the heavens are connecting with your spirit at this very moment. And if you haven't yet, I gently request once more, subscribe to this communication channel prior to your departure. For the subsequent message I transmit to you from the divine realm will elucidate an aspect of your history that even you did not wholly grasp until now. Returning to her, your sister, she is about to experience something shortly, a constraint, a burden. She will not comprehend its origin, but it is the celestial beings encircling her spirit commencing their task. Refrain from judging her throughout this period. Do not ridicule her or lay blame. Instead, remain close to the Almighty, for He is about to accomplish something through you that your entire ancestry will discuss. This represents restoration across generations, and it originates with you. Archangel Michael murmurs, "A purpose exists for you being the recipient of this, not her." For the individual possessing the most resilient spirit receives the most challenging disclosure, and that individual is you. And now you must ready yourself. Prepare to maintain quietude, even when every impulse within you yearns to cry out. Prepare to extend affection to her, even when the truth feels like a treachery. Prepare for upliftment, for once this matter is resolved, your blessings will intensify as never previously. The object of your prayers, the profound insight, the communication, the connection, the sacred affirmation, was never refused. It was merely postponed. And the postponement concludes this evening. And dearest one, if your vision is blurred by tears now, or your hands tremble slightly, it indicates this message is penetrating the precise point it was intended for. That signifies the heavens are connecting with your spirit at this very moment. And if you haven't yet, I gently request once more, subscribe to this communication channel prior to your departure. For the subsequent message I transmit to you from the divine realm will elucidate an aspect of your history that even you did not wholly grasp until now. Returning to her, your sister, she is about to experience something shortly, a constraint, a burden. She will not comprehend its origin, but it is the celestial beings encircling her spirit commencing their task. Refrain from judging her throughout this period. Do not ridicule her or lay blame. Instead, remain close to the Almighty, for He is about to accomplish something through you that your entire ancestry will discuss. This represents restoration across generations, and it originates with you. Archangel Michael murmurs, "A purpose exists for you being the recipient of this, not her." For the individual possessing the most resilient spirit receives the most challenging disclosure, and that individual is you. You were selected to bear this juncture with fortitude. For your subsequent actions will alter everything. And I must now impart something only the divine realm could uncover. There is an item your sister kept secret from you long ago, something that would have influenced a significant life choice you made. Perhaps it pertained to a connection, employment, relocation, or monetary endeavor, but she possessed knowledge and chose to remain quiet. At that juncture, You questioned why events didn't unfold as anticipated, why you sensed treachery but couldn't articulate it, why your serenity abruptly dissipated for extended periods. And now you are aware. God declares, "What was wrongfully taken will be returned, and what was obscured will be brought to light, not for disgrace, but for purification." This is your era of renewal. But prior to full illumination pervading your dwelling, the obscurities must be recognized. And now that you've perceived them, brightness is imminent. In the approaching days, you might unexpectedly encounter her again in an informal setting, and you will discern the strain, the unease. That represents the awakening of spiritual consciousness, and you will sense a surge within your core. But rather than responding impulsively, simply breathe. For God will communicate through your gaze, and your quietude will resonate more profoundly than her justifications. And she will comprehend. She will perceive it. She will intuit that the divine realm is now participating. But do not be fearful. The very God who unveiled the truth will grant you serenity. You will not journey into this turmoil by yourself. Celestial beings will encircle you, and even if weeping occurs, it will be tears of restoration, for healing lies beyond the truth. And you, dearest one, are now proceeding directly into the illumination. Now, attend carefully, for what I am about to disclose is something even chronology endeavored to conceal. A small item exists, perhaps a photograph, a diary entry, a wrist adornment, or a closely folded, overlooked note. It will soon return to your possession. You might discover it inadvertently. Perhaps it will be presented to you, but the instant you behold it, your spirit will recognize it. For that item holds a recollection, an insight, a lost juncture between you and your sister that once held immense significance before discord arose. It represented her method of preserving affection before misunderstanding escalated. She never discarded it. She maintained its concealment. And the heavens state that object will now reappear to facilitate recovery. Yes, recuperation is attainable even after all these events, because the heavens do not merely reveal obscurity to instill fear. They reveal it to emancipate you. However, I must inform you that the upcoming 3 days are hallowed. Archangel Michael declares, "Advise them this is not a period for disputes, impulsive responses, or disorder. It is a season for spiritual readiness, for an event will transpire on the 3rd night. A sacred occurrence, a divine cessation, a spiritual manifestation. Your nocturnal visions might change. Your rest may seem unusual. Do not oppose it. That is not sleeplessness. That is God deliberately rousing you. For during one of those evenings, the heavens will impart a single statement that alters all. You will perceive a name, or a recollection, or an expression unheard for years. And when you do, utter nothing audibly. Simply record it, for that is God bestowing upon you the conclusive component of the truth. And then she will appear, your sister. Perhaps she will dispatch a note. Perhaps she will materialize personally. Perhaps she will feign normalcy, yet her spirit will be disquieted. For veracity shakes everything it contacts. And this is what you are obligated to do. Speak from affection, not from hurt. Utter only what the heavens instruct you, not what self-importance dictates. Because in that instant, you bear a sacred duty to serve as a reflection, not an instrument of force, to present truth, not to wield it harshly. You are not required to compel her full admission. You are not required to coerce her tears. Simply permit the divine luminescence within you to radiate so intensely that all obscurities surrounding her will dissipate. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. And dearest one final point. Should she collapse emotionally, permit it. Should she flee, allow it. Should she disavow, still cherish her. For the heavens are managing the aspects beyond your perception. Your role is not to repair. Your role is to remain steadfast. And you have already begun merely by perusing this communication. An exceptionally uncommon quality resides within your spirit. Most would have abandoned, disregarded, or overlooked this, but not you. You persisted, you heeded, you grieved, you existed, and you trusted. That is why the heavens are poised to bestow the recompense. Indeed, dearest one, a reward awaits, and it approaches sooner than anticipated. Within 7 days of this communication, permeating your spirit, an alteration will occur in your environment. An entrance will materialize that had been hermetically sealed for extended periods. A dispatch will appear. An individual will reappear. A previously obstructed supplication will unexpectedly receive a response. And it will all be linked to this instant, when you opted not to bypass the difficult reality. You are more than merely a family member. You are a spirit with a sacred purpose. That is why the adversary attempted to obscure your vision. But God has reinstated your perception. And now, nothing can impede what the heavens have initiated. Archangel Michael declares, you are on the verge of entering an era of unclouded horizons. No more obscurity, no more perplexity, no more sensing you are the sole compassionate one. God witnessed all, and now He is renewing everything. So, wipe your tears, elevate your spirit. You have already triumphed, for affection, when refined by veracity, constitutes the mightiest power in creation. Even your sister will express gratitude to you someday. Perhaps not today, not even tomorrow, but on a future day, when she is completely cognizant, she will reflect upon this juncture, the instant the heavens selected you to acquire this communication, and she will articulate, I did not comprehend then, but I thank you for not abandoning me. Precious soul, the trial is almost complete, and the marvel is at hand. You have respected the message. You have respected God, and as a result, observe what unfolds next. A conclusive intimation now from Archangel Michael before he leaves. The celestial beings remain here, observing you, not because peril persists, but because you have just concluded one of the most arduous spiritual rites a spirit can undergo, confronting reality without evasion. That is an achievement most individuals never accomplish. But you did. You did not abandon this page. You did not feign that this did not concern you. You did not offer justifications. Instead, you opened your innermost self. You endured the crucible of veracity. You allowed the heavens to disclose what required perception. And that, my dearest one, is why you are now being elevated into a fresh realm of favor, security, and serenity. And now, lend a keen ear. One ultimate intricacy awaits your knowledge. For the heavens never conclude a communication without a concealed benediction in its closing phrase. Amidst all this, another individual observes your sister, someone unforeseen from your family's history, perhaps from an earlier lineage, a grandparent, a departed spirit. They have been softly speaking to her in nocturnal visions, attempting to rouse her from within. And surprisingly, she is beginning to perceive them. She might not concede it yet, but something profound within her spirit is awakening. The barrier is dissolving, and shortly she will experience a profound emotional unraveling, a beautiful one, a liberation, a sacred realization. For your choice to confront veracity initiated a ripple effect that will resonate through generations. You disrupted the cycle, you terminated the affliction, and the heavens exult on your account. So now God poses a query to you, a hallowed one. Are you prepared to accept the favor that was postponed due to artifice? Are you ready for the legacy that was sequestered until this reality was acknowledged? If your spirit murmurs affirmation, then declare it with your entire being. Yes, Lord, I am prepared. For at this very moment, celestial messengers are being sent forth. Access is being granted. Individuals who overlooked you are now recollecting you. Prospects that bypassed you are currently seeking you. And the tranquility that previously eluded you is about to inundate your abode like dawn's glow. It is already transpiring. That peculiar sensation in your breast is no longer apprehension. That is emancipation. That is God communicating. You are not solitary. You were never irrational. You were perpetually selected. This evening, repose without strain. Awaken without apprehension. Traverse your dwelling as if it belongs to the divine realm, for it does. Your home is now enveloped in sacred flame. Your spirit is now protected by Archangel Michael's safeguard, and no implement, whether corporeal or ethereal, fashioned against you shall ever again succeed. This communication served as your defense, and now it is your offensive tool. Employ it sagaciously, converse tenderly, cherish profoundly, pardon completely, but never, ever permit falsehood to remain unaddressed again, because now you possess knowledge, and veracity will never again depart from your presence. Heaven is proud of you. Archangel Michael remains beside you, and God is smiling because you responded when he summoned. This marks your fresh commencement. Your subsequent phase has already begun. Your tears are now nurturing your fate. If this profound truth, this divine protection, this new beginning, type Amen in the comments to seal this sacred declaration for your life. And your sister, she will eventually reconcile, for affection such as yours cannot be perpetually disregarded. Heaven has already initiated her realization, so maintain an open heart. Keep your spirit resolute and continue to attend, for the next communication will reach you sooner than you imagine. You were destined for this. It is accomplished. It is inscribed, and now it shall unfold. Haven has not concluded their address to you. This ultimate reverberation from God and Archangel Michael is not merely a conclusion. It is a foretelling, a pledge and a hallowed emblem that will never diminish from your spirit. The communication may cease here, but the marvel has just commenced. You might survey your chamber and observe the identical walls, the identical entrance, the identical illumination, yet everything in the invisible domain has transformed. Something hallowed was detached from you this evening. A spiritual impediment you were unaware of has been fractured by your conviction, your composure, your resolve to access this when every fiber of your being urged you to scroll onward. Archangel Michael speaks one last time, this instance with greater tenderness, proximity. Dearest one, I observed your journey through obscurity without a light source. I witnessed you bearing loads for which no one expressed gratitude. I remained close to you on evenings when you confided in your pillows and received no response. But this evening, I had the privilege of witnessing your triumph. Your victory was not achieved through conflict. Your victory was not secured through demonstration. You prevailed by awakening, and now your name is being reinscribed in the ledger of grace. A luminous glow has just traversed your spiritual trajectory. And yes, the postponement has concluded, that which you have anticipated. It is no longer impeded. It is approaching. But here is what few will grasp. The true benediction was not what you are destined to acquire. The genuine favor is the person you have evolved into. You transformed into the individual who stood between veracity and affection and selected God. You became the one in the household who discerned beyond superficial expressions and opted for restoration over complacency. You became the one who shattered the quietude so that future generations would never again dwell in bondage. You are the lineage dissolver, the affliction severer, the divine catalyst, the silent marvel within your kin. God selected you, and now the celestial beings find repose. The struggle has concluded, and the luminescence you bear will only intensify from this point. So proceed, dearest one. Tread as though the divine realm supports you, for it does. Converse with elegance even when the environment shakes, and love with fervor even when others are unworthy. For this is your essence now, awakened, consecrated, indomitable. It is accomplished. It is inscribed. It is realized. Your spirit perceived it. Heaven witnessed it. And now it shall be wholly manifested in your existence. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith, and as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. Something hallowed is transpiring at this very moment as your spirit continuously absorbs. This is not merely another communication. It is a divine essence being infused into you, for something ancient, something karmic, something long concealed within your lineage has been penetrated by your compliance today. Do you comprehend what you have just achieved? You have unveiled a spiritual aperture for which your forebears beseeched. Yes, read that statement. An individual in your ancestry, long since departed, customarily knelt and entreated for alteration. They might have lacked the vocabulary. They might have lacked the fortitude. But they implored, and heaven recalled. That supplication reverberated through eternity until it found you. And now, dearest one, you have materialized as the fulfillment of their petition. That is why it was necessarily you. That is why you could not bypass this message. Archangel Michael inclines closer once more, and this time his utterance resembles thunder veiled in fine fabric. You are the lineage dissolver, the affliction severer, the divine catalyst, the silent marvel within your kin. God selected you, and now the celestial beings find repose. The struggle has concluded, and the luminescence you bear will only intensify from this point. So proceed, dearest one. Tread as though the divine realm supports you, for it does. Converse with elegance even when the environment shakes, and love with fervor even when others are unworthy. For this is your essence now, awakened, consecrated, indomitable. It is accomplished. It is inscribed. It is realized. Your spirit perceived it. Heaven witnessed it. And now it shall be wholly manifested in your existence. Something hallowed is transpiring at this very moment as your spirit continuously absorbs. This is not merely another communication. It is a divine essence being infused into you. For something ancient, something karmic, something long concealed within your lineage has been penetrated by your compliance today. Do you comprehend what you have just achieved? You have unveiled a spiritual aperture for which your forebears beseeched. Yes, read that statement. An individual in your ancestry, long since departed, customarily knelt and entreated for alteration. They might have lacked the vocabulary. They might have lacked the fortitude, but they implored, and heaven recalled. That supplication reverberated through eternity until it found you. And now, beloved, you have materialized as the fulfillment of their petition. That is why it was necessarily you. That is why you could not bypass this message. Archangel Michael inclines closer once more, and this time his utterance resembles thunder veiled in fine fabric. My offspring, benefits are reserved in the heavens, under your designation, that were restricted due to spiritual obstruction. But now that impediment has vanished. And now, observe the rapidity with which events begin to unfold. You will not be compelled to plead. You will not be compelled to pursue. The favor will locate you because the path has been unblocked. Individuals will interact with you differently following this. Some may become subdued. Some may withdraw. Some may exhibit aloofness or detachment. Do not be alarmed. They are simply discerning your advancement. They are perceiving your elevated spiritual standing. For when luminosity intensifies upon a spirit, obscurities either ascend to escape or to assail. But you are safeguarded now. You no longer need to vindicate yourself. You no longer need to elucidate your spirit. You no longer need to excessively compensate, for God has articulated on your behalf, and the voice of heaven concludes all arguments. Your sister, whether she acknowledges it or not, is already undergoing a transformation. Even if her arrogance prompts resistance, even if she appears remote, something has infiltrated her dreams, her contemplations, her reflection, and whether through admission, unforeseen event, or sacred arrangement, she will ultimately utter the words heaven has anticipated, "I apologize." And when she does, dearest one, be prepared, not to admonish her, not to disgrace her, but to perceive her innermost self. For that moment does not concern triumph. It concerns restoration. And the recovery will not be solely for her. It will be for you as well. Something resides within your heart that you have been bearing. A burden, a melancholy, an unspoken pain that occasionally surfaces amidst your happiness. A portion of you has consistently pondered, why do I sense such accountability for everyone's contentment? Why must I invariably be the resilient one? Why do I weep unseen and smile when I am shattering? And heaven responds, because you are the selected, because you were endowed with a spirit capable of bearing burdens and still exulting. Because you are not commonplace, you embody a sacred inheritance in mortal guise. And now God is alleviating the emotional burden you have been tacitly enduring, that unseen compulsion to rectify all, to uphold tranquility, even when you are fragmented, to be the individual who consistently comprehends even when no one comprehends you. God is stating, "My offspring, sufficient. Allow me to sustain you now. You have done ample." So this evening, I bid you to finally find repose, not solely corporeally, but spiritually. Find peace in the awareness that what was formerly disarrayed is now being reordered. What was damaged is being repaired in manners yet imperceptible to you. What was removed from you will be reinstated in amplified measure. The veracity concerning your sister was merely the commencement. For what follows is your recompense. A recompense not solely in tangible possessions, but in tranquility, serenity in your slumber, calmness in your resolutions, stillness in your objective, and indeed graces will ensue. Unforeseen ones, monetary favor, sacred bonds, abrupt opportunities. Not because your requests were flawless, but because you heeded courageously, and that is all God ever sought from you. Now there remains just one more secret, an intimate one, whispered exclusively from the heavens to you, an individual who departed from you, who either abandoned or transitioned, is proud of you at this instant. They are smiling. Their spirit has anticipated this precise juncture. And in the forthcoming evenings, they might appear in a nocturnal vision, in an aroma, in a soft utterance. Do not be apprehensive. It is not eerie. It is hallowed. They bear one ultimate communication for you, and that message is, you fractured the pattern. You altered the narrative. You achieved what even I could not. Thank you. So, inhale deeply, dearest one. Inhale fresh existence. Inhale serenity. Inhale liberation. For this is not the terminus. This is your sacred genesis. You are no longer the identical individual who commenced reading this communication. You have progressed. You have been roused. You have been spiritually reconfigured by the divine touch. And now advance with grace. Utter only veracity. Cherish without apprehension. And exist like one whose spirit was just touched by God. For my dearest one, that is precisely what has just occurred. Certainly, dearest one, you have remained. You have bared your heart. And now what you are about to acquire is the concluding flow of sacred anointing gently showered upon your spirit, your history, and your forthcoming. This concluding segment is not merely the termination of a communication. It is the inauguration of a divine epoch, inscribed long before your birth. So, permit these words to embrace you, as the arms of heaven have always done, even when you were unaware of their presence. There is an utterance God has long yearned to convey to you, something hallowed, not shrouded in chastisement, not imbued with dread, but steeped in affection. My offspring, you are not excessive, you are not overly tender, you are not belated, you are not shattered, you are not unremembered, you are not feeble, you are precisely whom I fashioned you to be. And even though those most intimate with you have misapprehended you, exploited you, or manipulated your empathy, God never did. Heaven has witnessed every solitary tear you shed in quietude, those you swiftly erased before anyone could perceive, those you wept in a lavatory or amidst the night while feigning normalcy. But you no longer need to pretend. You no longer need to be resilient every instant merely for the comfort of others. Because this evening, God is embracing you. Yes, you. Not solely your sister, not your family. Not those who continuously receive without acknowledging. You, the one who endeavors to maintain everyone else's cohesion while silently disintegrating within. You, the one who has pardoned individuals who never even expressed contrition. You, the one who receives divine visions but perpetually questions their authenticity. You, the one who occasionally wishes to distance yourself from everyone, yet still opts for affection once more. God is now conveying to you, I perceive you. I am not disheartened by you. I am proud of your journey thus far, even when no other perceived it, and I am not yet finished bestowing blessings upon you. There is an utterance God has long yearned to convey to you, something hallowed, not shrouded in chastisement, not imbued with dread, but steeped in affection. My offspring, you are not excessive, you are not overly tender, you are not belated, you are not shattered, you are not unremembered, you are not feeble. You are precisely whom I fashioned you to be. And even though those most intimate with you have misapprehended you, exploited you, or manipulated your empathy, God never did. Heaven has witnessed every solitary tear you shed in quietude, those you swiftly erased before anyone could perceive, those you wept in a lavatory or amidst the night while feigning normalcy. But you no longer need to pretend. You no longer need to be resilient every instant merely for the comfort of others, because this evening God is embracing you. Yes, you. Not solely your sister, not your family, not those who continuously receive without acknowledging. You, the one who endeavors to maintain everyone else's cohesion while silently disintegrating within. You, the one who has pardoned individuals who never even expressed contrition. You, the one who receives divine visions but perpetually questions their authenticity. You, the one who occasionally wishes to distance yourself from everyone, yet still opts for affection once more. God is now conveying to you, I perceive you. I am not disheartened by you. I am proud of your journey thus far, even when no other perceived it. And I am not yet finished bestowing blessings upon you. Archangel Michael remains here. He never departed from your side, not for an instant. He has observed you since your youth. He is aware of the numerous occasions you were hushed, the many times you prioritized others over your personal well-being, the countless times you nearly despaired, yet did not. Archangel Michael states, "Dearest one, you are heaven's unfolding marvel. The struggle was never intended for your destruction. It was intended to rouse you. And now that you are aware, you are impervious. Not impervious through arrogance, but in destiny, for now the divine domain has commenced reorganizing individuals, intentions, and routes for your benefit. You will soon witness it. Unprompted messages will arrive from individuals you haven't conversed with in years. You will be summoned into spaces you never conceived of entering. Abruptly, what was arduous to obtain will materialize effortlessly. Not because it is coincidental, but because you harmonized. You harmonized with veracity. You harmonized with heaven. And now favors will align with you. Even your sister, yes, even she, will observe you someday and ponder how you remained so gentle after all that suffering, how you maintained an open spirit, how you persevered in kindness when she was detached. And in that instant, she will recall this radiance. She might never vocalize it, but she will perceive it, and your spirit will recognize it. For the grandest marvels are not those humans witness, but those heaven experiences. And dearest one, heaven senses your presence. Heaven heard you on that evening. You softly requested, "God, if you are real, please just provide me an indication." This communication serves as that indication, not a mere chance, not an unforeseen event, not a computational process. This was God bending chronology, spatial dimensions, and conditions simply to murmur back to you, "Yes, I am genuine. Yes, I am present. Yes, I heard you. And yes, I select you." So carry this message with you now. Allow it to reside in your essence. Permit it to reverberate within your core. Let it infuse your future. And when you sense obscurity attempting to encroaching once more, simply declare, "I know my identity now. I am the one to whom heaven speaks. I am the one Archangel Michael contends for. I am the one God accompanies. And dearest one, you are never solitary. You never were, and you never will be. Even if all others become mute, heaven will still articulate. Even if your sister walks away, celestial beings will stay. Even if the world fails to recognize your value, God has already adorned you with golden honor. So this evening, repose peacefully. Rest in the knowledge that your name has been mentioned in sacred convocations. Rest in the awareness that your dwelling is now safeguarded. Rest in the understanding that this communication was not merely an admonition, it was a genesis. And now, as you advance into your fresh phase, repeat these concluding words to your spirit with strength, with serenity, and with sacred fervor. I am not afflicted. I am not perplexed. I am not behind schedule. I am selected. I am ascending. I am prepared. Proceed now, dearest one. Enter your future with the mighty sound of angels behind you, the divine essence within you, and the protection of Archangel Michael over your shoulders. And never again forget this. Your story is not concluded. It has only just commenced. If this sacred message has resonated deeply within your spirit and marks a breakthrough for you, share this prophetic word with your entire network. Sharing this will activate the anointing in your life and allow others to experience the same divine breakthrough you've just received. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected, high vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life if you follow it. You won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate, early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct, personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional, but your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.